So it's 5:20 and drinks are about 10 minutes away, 8 minutes away. So we'll keep this short. So I have 4 topics. So the first one is for all those folks that helped make today. Would you guys just stand up? So I know there's a bunch over there. If you guys can stand up, Tammy, Simon, anybody? And then a round of applause for these folks. Great job, thank you. And a big thank you to all the speakers today too. So phenomenal talks. So what do I take away from today? I think two broad topics. One is that there's a set of cloud-native organizations. So we had the pleasure of listening to 3 of them, Netflix, Gilt, and Halo. And I think what they're doing is changing the game for the rest of us. And I think there's a lot to learn and a lot to build upon for us on the things they're doing. So they're breaking new ground, they're experimenting, and I think the great thing for everyone else is that we can learn a ton from those folks. And we don't need to reinvent the wheel. So for those of us working in enterprise shops that are not greenfield and not cloud native, I think look to the great things that these other companies are doing and then build on top of those. So look at what others are doing and learn from that. If you are one of these enterprise IT shops, so you have a bunch of legacy. I mean, the way I look at it is, I look at the enterprise IT as a monolith, right? So I've seen a number of architecture diagrams, and they're about a size of that. At least each one is usually 3 or 4 of them that describes the landscape. And for me, I look at that as a monolith, and I say, if that's the monolith, what do you do to decompose that? I think you need to do 3 things. First is you need to get closer to the business, right? So you're going to have very limited success if you don't have buy-in from the business, and it needs to be both ways. I think we talked about that on the panel. You need to get the business in the room with you, and we've seen incredible success when the business and the technology teams sit together in the same room, right? So that's prerequisite number 1. The second part for me is really about talent, right? You're in the situation you are because of the people that are currently in your organization, and you probably don't have enough new thinking in the room. So the first thing you need to do is figure out how to get new blood into the organization, and so you need to figure out what you're going to do with your talent. So I think the 2 options there is acquire it from the outside. Yes, you need to pay a premium to do that. And secondly, you need to grow it internally, a new mindset, a new way of thinking. So that's the second thing you need to do. And the third thing you need to do is basically probably bypass your current operations team and go to the cloud. And I think it's not a case that the IT operations can't do what you need them to do. They probably just can't do it right now. So I think it's a real enabler, and I don't think I've seen anybody move to kind of a microservices style of architecture within their current construct of IT and operations. And to do all 3 at the same time, I know is really hard. We've seen lots of organizations try to do that, and it's incredibly difficult. But you need to pick off 1, 2, or 3 of these things before you can move to this world. So they're the 3 things that I think I take away from here. If you have an enterprise monolith, you need to kind of tackle those 3 things, probably at the same time. The last thing then, to wrap this up, and I said I'll keep this short, is for those interested in taking the conversation further, I think a lot of the speakers and other folks who helped organize this probably will share more after they've had a drink or two. So we're going to go down to the Tippler, which is on Chelsea Market, just a couple of blocks down the road. If on the way out, if you want to drink and take the conversation further, get a wristband and then walk down. It'll get you free booze for a couple of hours, which is always nice. So thank you, everybody, for being great audience. Thank you.